It is intermission, and we will get to the rest of tonight's hockey, but right now some very sad news out of Nebraska. Former Cornhusker quarterback Brook Berringer has reportedly died in a plane crash. The still unconfirmed report has it that Berringer was on board a small plane that crashed this afternoon outside of Mayne, Nebraska. Berringer was a star for the Nebraska team in the 1994 championship season. He came in for injured Tommy Frazier and led the Huskers to 7 wins as a starter. This past season, he played backup as Nebraska won its 2nd consecutive title. We will seek confirmation on this breaking story. And for those joining late, it is that former Nebraska quarterback Brook Berringer was reportedly killed in a plane wreck today in Mayne, Nebraska. He was 22 years old. On to hockey we go. Last year's champs did not make the playoffs. The Rangers then become next in line to defend the cup, as they won it 2 years ago. And they opened with a loss at home to the Canadiens Tuesday night. Now we go to the Garden and see what's happening this evening, trying to get even. Started the first, no score. Pat Verbeek takes Stefan Quintal on the boards hard. He'll come back to play, though. Jocelyn Thibault in net for Montreal and playing real well early. Rangers on the 3-on-2. Brian Leach over Shane Churla. He shoots, but he won't score. Thibault with the save there. Soon afterward, New York on the power play, but Vincent Damphousse ripped it off, went in and scored. See it again. Look at the move. Gets Richter going one way, puts it the other. The pretty shorthanded goal puts the Canadiens up 1-0, and that's how it stands. They are in the first period still over on ESPN. It's 1-0 Montreal. The Canadiens won game 1 in overtime. Their 12th straight overtime playoff win, trying to go up 2-0 on the road in New York. So the Blues and the Leafs. Blues up 1-0 in this one. Early first period. Brett Hull mixing it up with Doug Gilmour. Come on, guys. Let's play some hockey here. Blues, a scoring shot. Wayne Gretzky for Hull. Felix Potvin with the save. And it remains scoreless. Anxious moment here. Nick Kiprio skates into Grant Fuhrer. And down he goes, twisting the knee backwards. He had to leave the ice, possibly re-injuring the same right knee that had him sitting out 4 games during the season. He was injured originally on March 31st. John Casey came in at goal as his replacement for Fuhrer. A minute later, Mike Gardner scored to give Toronto a 1-0 lead in this one. Toronto trying to tie up the series at 1 apiece. Another game coming up a bit later this evening. Vancouver at Colorado. That's coming up at 9 Eastern. Corey Hirsch will make his first playoff start. You'll learn more about that game on the NHL Tonight. Corey Hirsch, how he turns out in his first ever NHL playoff start. More hockey coming later on this week. In fact, tomorrow night on ESPN, the original, the Capitals and the Penguins. That's coming up at 7:30 Eastern. ESPN2, not to be outdone, showing hockey at the same time. Winnipeg and Detroit, the team with the best record in the entire NHL, they're going at it at 7:30 Eastern as well. The NBA playoffs are filled with the exception of the 8 spots west and east. The Hornets are down a half game to Miami for the last position in the Eastern Conference. They're at it with Milwaukee as we speak, where WITI is reporting the Bucks will be firing coach Mike Dunleavy when the season ends. It'll be his 4th consecutive losing season. And away we go to that one. In Milwaukee, Dunleavy trying to salvage something out of his remaining few games. First quarter, Sherman Douglas, the feed to Glenn Robinson. He's tall. Bucks down 1 here. Later in the first quarter, Kenny Anderson going full court. It's Glenn Rice. It's basket. Charlotte was out 23-18. What is it now? Well, we'll tell you what it is right now. I do believe. Charlotte up in this one by 2 points. Going in a half game down to Miami. Charlotte with 3 games left, including this one. Miami with 2 remaining at the quarter. Glenn Rice had 11, so did Glenn Robinson. Dennis Scott with 9 for Orlando. The Magic trying to go for a record 58 wins. Looks like they're going to get it against Atlanta. New York and Cleveland, this will be a first-round matchup if they stay put as the 4 and the 5 teams. 28-13, Cleveland all over them right now. Stuart Scott, Fred Carter, and the NBA Tonight gang. They got all your basketball news coming up at a special time, 1 Eastern this evening. That's 10 out west. Stuart Scott, Fred Carter laying down all the NBA news. This here is a hockey score. You see to the right, 8 minutes, 41, 40, 39. They'll be playing hockey soon. Hang on, more of this right after this break.
All right, son, let's see it.
You guys cops?
Poultry police.
We got reports this here Long John's, a fish place, is serving tender, all white batter-tipped chicken fillets.
It's a unique taste for a paltry sum.
59 cents each.
59 cents. Nobody prices poultry at that price, pal.
Long John Silver's does.
It's the 59-cent chicken sale at Long John Silver's.
Just put it in the bag.
Evidence?
Lunch.
At Aramark, we know great things happen when people work together. When you're part of something bigger. When you take pride in how you look. When you know you're a team. At Aramark, we know great things happen when you put on a uniform. Aramark Uniform Services, America's largest uniform company.
Rule number 52, face off. Rule number 25, to play the game, use a puck. The Stanley Cup playoffs tomorrow at 7:30. The NHL rules on ESPN2.
MasterCard presents the NHL Play of the Year. This week's candidate is from the mighty Paul Kariya.
Kariya scores! A brilliant backhand shot to the roof of the net. Paul Kariya is all world on this Easter Sunday.
Hagita, everybody. Kansas City and Dallas going at it. That is Major League Soccer. Kansas City Wiz, Dallas Burn. They'll play some soccer this evening. Actually, they're playing already, but we'll show it to you through the Magic Television at around 11 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. To baseball now, the Red Sox, the Orioles, the top of the third, the 2-1 Baltimore. Red Sox runners on the corners. Dwayne Hosey grounding it to first. Rafael Palmeiro, he got Will Cordero hung up while you work on it in spring training. This is what they didn't work on well in spring training, and Cordero scores. We're tied at 2. 4-3 Red Sox in the fourth. Cordero lining a single off Mike Mussina, who was trying to be 4-0. Troy O'Leary and Mike Stanley coming around at 6-3 Boston. In the seventh, it's Mo Vaughn. Say Chowda! He's going opposite field, his second of the year. 9-4 Red Sox, and they hang on to win this thing by a count of 10-7, ending a 7-game losing streak, the longest for the Red Sox since June of 2 years ago. Mussina stopped in his attempt to become the first 4-game winner in baseball. Giants, Cubs, pictures. Cubs exploding. Bottom of the first, Leo Gomez against Bill Van Landingham. The smash past Matt Williams. He's going down the line. Barry Bonds, he's all over. He was all over it. He fell down. People are scoring. 5-0 Cubs after 1. The wind, always a factor. It's Bonds. It is back. It is back. It is not coming back. It is gone on the Sheffield Avenue there. Giants down 5-3. They would later tie the game. 6th inning, though. Sean Barton tries to pick up. Doesn't work out well. Ryan Sandberg comes on in, and the Cubs win it by a count of 7-6. They move into a tie for the lead, rather the lead by themselves now in the National League Central. Van Landingham dropped to 0-3 with the loss. Cards, Pirates, how about them? That's the Pirates, 6-2. Paul Wagner, a winner again. Lost 16 games last season. Now he is 3-0, tied for the best in the majors. About to show you the second period of hockey. They got 5 minutes left to Zamboni that thing. It's 1-0 Philly.
We're thinking ahead.
Hockey news coming right up on this new Dodge intermission report. But first, the news we gave you earlier has been confirmed. The sad news out of Nebraska. Former Cornhusker quarterback Brook Berringer was listed as the pilot in a small plane that went down this afternoon. He and the brother of his girlfriend died in this crash. The plane just went down after takeoff. Berringer, of course, was awaiting the NFL draft. He was a star for the 1994 championship team in Nebraska, coming in for injured quarterback Tommy Frazier, and he led them to 7 wins as a starter. This past season, he played as a backup. The owner of the plane that did crash said that Berringer had just flown it a week ago. He did own a pilot's license. He was looking forward to being a commercial pilot as well. Brook Berringer gone at the age of 22. On to hockey we go. Last year's champion did not make the playoffs, so the only remaining team that could defend a cup would be the New York Rangers, trying to keep from going down 0-2 at home to the Montreal Canadiens. And away we go to that. First half, or first period, I should say. Canadians on the 5-3. Mark Recchi pops in his own rebound, and it's a goal. 2-0 the Habs. But you know, got our sheets backwards. That's Jocelyn Thibault playing well. But wait, there's more. It's Vincent Damphousse intercepting the pass, scoring 1-0. Confusing hockey game, isn't it? First period, continuing. Canadians on the 5-3. There's Recchi. 2-0 Habs. Rangers trying to show some muscle. Old Samuelson, he's tough. But the Habs keep coming. Down one, it's Lyle Odeline scoring just his second career playoff goal. Mark Messier displeased. Cross roll. Second period, Sergio Momesso gets the shot to trickle by Thibault, who at the top of the tape we showed you playing well at goal. It's Montreal 3-1 right now. New York does not want to go down 0-2 in this thing because they've gone 8 straight winless up there in Montreal, and they've never come back down 0-2 in a playoff series. The Blues and the Leafs. First period, no score. Nick Kyprios ramming into Grant Fuhr. Not good because Fuhr had injured his knee during the season. Apparently has done the same thing again. He's out for the playoffs. Replaced by John Casey, and they beat him up right there. Mike Gartner gets the goal to make it 1-0, then 2-1 still in the first. Doug Gilmour's shot. It's Matt Sundin on the follow. It's 3-1 Leafs, but Craig McTavish has just made it 3-2. McTavish with the goal. They're trying to hang on now after 1 minute after Casey comes in. They score on him. They get 3 more to make it 3-0. It's a 3-2 hockey game. We got Colorado, we got Vancouver in Colorado. Corey Hirsch in goal, his first time starting, and he'll take a shot and he'll give up a goal. It's Peter Forsberg. It's 1-0 Colorado. But about 2 minutes later, Vancouver coming right back. Gino Ojic, please. Ojic inside gets the goal to drop, ties the game at 1 apiece. And Mike Ricci has now added a goal. That is incorrect what you see there. It's actually 2-1 Colorado at this point. A lot of action there in the first period. If I confuse you, well, hang on, because the NHL Tonight's coming up a bit later. Bill Pito, another excellent folk, getting it together for the NHL Tonight right after our game. Much hockey info on tonight's play and all of tomorrow's action. Washington and Pittsburgh playing hockey on ESPN, the original. Caps up in that thing by a count of 1-0. That's tomorrow at 7:30. And right here on ESPN2, Winnipeg and Detroit. Detroit with the best record in all the NHL. They're up 1-0 in this series. All hockey all the time on both channels. Now to the NBA, where the Charlotte Hornets go in a half game down to Miami for the last playoff spot out in the East. Meanwhile, the coach of the Milwaukee Bucks, Mike Dunleavy, reportedly gone. WITI. Reporting that he is coaching his last few games, gone after the end of the season. First quarter, Sherman Douglas, Glenn Robinson, he's tall, 13 points. First half, Hornets answer right back. Kenny Anderson, Glenn Rice, he's also tall. He also had 13 at the half. Second quarter, Sean Respert, less tall, looking for 3. Got it. Respert, 14 at the break. Bucks led by 7. What is it now? Well, they're into the third quarter. Milwaukee up 86-78. They've actually passed the third quarter because we know Dog has 21 and Glenn Rice 25 after 3. Orlando going at it with Atlanta. Orlando trying to go for a franchise record 58 wins. They already got the 2 spot out in the East. Dennis Scott had 28 after 3. Patrick Ewing with 18, Terrell Brandon with 19, but Cleveland beating up on New York. Those two will likely play each other in the first round of the NBA playoffs. Detroit and Chicago, bad news for the Bulls, even though they're up 15. Ron Harper injured his left ankle, had to be carried off the court by his teammates. His status now uncertain. Dallas beating up on Denver right now. George McLeod had 12 after 1. Clippers in Houston playing basketball. The Clips, the 3-point lead as we speak. Clyde and Hakeem each had 10 after 1. Lakers in San Antonio. Big Rob had 11 after 1 period, but the Lakers beating up San Antonio at this very point. UC, 7 minutes, 51 seconds till they drop the puck on the third period. It's 1-0 Philly. We're right back.
We took the most comfortable full-sized pickup on the road and made it more comfortable. We took the most thoughtful interior on the market and made it more thoughtful. We took the biggest cab in the industry and made it bigger. The Dodge Ram Club Cab. First, we changed the rules. Then we stretched them. At America's Truck Stop, the new Dodge.
This is about how your business can build new profit centers without bulldozing your budget. About looking bigger than you are. This is about call centers, people, and technology that can capture new customers, answer questions, and process orders 24 hours a day. And it's not just for the rich, the powerful, or the daring. Because there's a way you can get the help, hardware, software, and advanced toll-free service to create your call center. All you have to know is how. Network MCI, that's how.
What's the NFL doing on ESPN and ESPN2 in April? Important business. It's the NFL Draft. This weekend on ESPN starting at noon and continuing on ESPN2 at 7. Continuous coverage on ESPN Net Sports Zone.
Hey, the soccer game you might have tuned to see will be shown. We're taping it, making it look really good. Kansas City and Dallas. This here is Major League Soccer on ESPN2 tonight, 11 Eastern. This weekend, if your name is called, you'll be a football player. ESPN and ESPN2, they're your drafting partners. ESPN starts it out at noon on Saturday. ESPN2 then takes over, and on Sunday, all sorts of other things, 11 and 1. Right now, we'll take you back to the third period. Got more hockey coming up. 5 minutes, 56 seconds. They'll drop a puck.
You haunt me, my friend. Everywhere I go, you're there. Kiev, Buenos Aires, Budapest. But not this time. At long last, victory is mine.
Drink Bud Ice, but beware the penguins.
Jesse, you're next.
I'm all yours.
Save it for the stage, Romeo.
Carol always gives it to me straight. Like when she told me about my...
I told him about Head & Shoulders. Regular shampoos just rinse flakes away so they could come back. Head & Shoulders helps prevent flakes from even forming. You see the difference? You look great.
Thanks, but will it get me this part?
Couldn't hurt.
Head & Shoulders, because great hair can't have flakes.
Hey, break a leg.
Can your radio do this? Only one radio can give you stereo sound this big, yet is small enough to fit almost anywhere. The extraordinary new Wave radio from Bose. Press the remote control and hear sound from a radio like you've never heard before. Big, rich sound that fills the room. You hear music the way it was meant to be heard. Clear, full, incredibly lifelike. You've got to hear the Wave radio to believe it. And now you can, in your own home. Satisfaction guaranteed. Call us toll-free to learn how, and we'll deliver the Wave radio to your door. Experience big stereo sound